In the battle of AIs, a new force emerges. Meet Grok. The dictionary meaning of Grok is to understand profoundly and intuitively. Grok is the brainchild of multi-billionaire Elon Musk, who has owned and started various companies. The company Grok is not quite new, it's almost 2 years old. Today we are going to specifically talk about Grok 3, which Elon Musk claims to be the smartest AI on earth. Now, how good is Grok 3? As far as the benchmarks are concerned, Grok 3 and Grok 3 Mini beat other LLMs hands down. But in this video, we are not going to trust just the benchmarks. We are going to use Grok and pit it against DeepSeek and ChatGPT and see how it fares against them. Now first start with image generation. After using Grok for a couple of days, on 20th of February, I asked Grok whether it's able to generate images for me just the way ChatGPT is able to. It answered that it can't. The very next day, on 21st February, I was using Grok again, and this time it hinted that it can generate images for me. I was curious, so I just asked it to generate an image for me, and sure it did. I asked Grok what changed, and it told me that it apparently got a makeover overnight, literally. So I decided to play a little with it. I first went to ChatGPT and asked ChatGPT, generate the image of Elon Musk in a cyberpunk city. And sure, ChatGPT was not able to do that. It can't generate images of real persons. Now I went to Grok and asked Grok the same question. And sure enough, Grok was able to generate a couple of very fancy images for me. Now I had my next prompt ready. I asked ChatGPT, generate an image of Donald Trump visiting the Mahakumbh 2025 in India. Sure enough, this time again, it denied. The last time I used DeepSeek was a while back, and that was when I made this video. So I just wanted to check if DeepSeek has gotten new capabilities. I just asked DeepSeek this question, that whether it could generate an image for me, and it also said that it can't. Now, Grok's turn. And lo and behold, it generates an amazing image for me. It almost looks real. Quite good. Now if I go to ChatGPT, I say generate an image of a person in their 30s visiting the Mahakumbh 2025 in India. It generates this beautiful looking, colorful photo for me. But you could sense a striking difference between both of these images. The one generated by ChatGPT and the one generated by Grok. The one generated by Grok looks quite realistic, and the one generated by ChatGPT almost looks like a painting. Now I wanted to have some more fun with Grok. I asked Grok, generate an image of Bill Gates dressed up in a Chewbacca costume marching outside Taj Mahal. And it generated two images for me. The one is actually a Chewbacca, so I can't say if it's Bill Gates dressed as Chewbacca. But the other one, where Bill Gates' face is visible and the suit is of Chewbacca, it is quite funny and quite brilliant, I would say. I wanted to have some more fun, so I asked Grok, generate an image of Justin Bieber sitting outside the Rome Colosseum with a guitar in one hand and harmonium in another. It takes some time and it generates two images for me. And the one on the right, it almost looks like young Justin Bieber, but there is no harmonium in the photo, so we can ignore this one. The one on the left though, it has harmonium as well as guitar as well as Justin Bieber, who does not quite look like Justin Bieber, but we can say, yeah, okay, maybe. The fingers look a bit crooked and the harmonium is also smaller. Your imaginations can go wild and you can think of generating anything as far as image generation is concerned. Now on to the next round, coding, where these AIs really shine. And that's the reason why developers are scared of losing their jobs. I made a video for that. Take a look here. Let's move ahead. The first scenario, creating a tic-tac-toe game. I asked this same question to ChatGPT, DeepSeek and Grok and enable their thinking modes and wait for their responses. ChatGPT was the fastest in reasoning. It reasoned for 9 seconds and gave me an answer. I saved the Python file generated by ChatGPT and I move over to Grok. Grok took 66 seconds to generate an answer for me, and I saved this answer and I moved to DeepSeek. DeepSeek also has an answer ready by now. I saved this file as well, and now it's time to test these. I'm running the game generated by Grok first. Grok has generated quite a simple game for me, although it's functional and it's without errors, so it works. Now I'm running the game generated by DeepSeek. this looks a bit fancier, better than Grok, but it's still basic, I would say. Now I try to run the game generated by ChatGPT and I face an issue. I ask it how to resolve that and it helps me out. Now the issue is resolved and the game runs without any glitches. The game looks quite nice. It has got this nice UI for that, but I want to give Grok another chance at it. I ask it to make it better and see what it does. This time around it generates an updated code for me and I save that code and I run that Python file, and this time it's much better. It's also not terminal based and it has got a nice UI to that. Now on to the next coding challenge, creating a simulation. The question that I ask all these three is, write a Python program for me that shows a spherical ball bouncing inside a rotating hexagon. The bounce and friction should follow the laws of physics and the ball hitting against the walls of the hexagon should look realistic. And this time again, ChatGPT was the fastest to respond. It generates the program for me, I copy the contents of the file, I save it locally, and I run the program. And it looks quite good. As you could see, the ball is bouncing inside the hexagon quite naturally and it's hitting the walls like a ball would really do. Now by this time, Grok also seems to have finished its thinking. I save the file locally and now I try to run the program. This looks funny. The ball is not rotating inside the hexagon. The ball has gone outside the hexagon and it looks like a mess. Now on to DeepSeek, but looks like DeepSeek is still reasoning. Now I go back to ChatGPT and I ask it to incorporate Earth's gravity into context because the last game it generated, it looked a bit off. So I ask it to generate something for me again. And this time it generates a new game for me. I save the game, I try to run it, and this time it almost looks perfect. It looks like it's following all the laws of physics. Now I want to give another chance to Grok. I say to Grok that your game looks all over the place. Please bring Earth's gravity into equation and try to generate the game once again for me. I try to run this game now and see how it looks. And this looks off once again. Now we go back to DeepSeek and by this time DeepSeek also seems to have completed its reasoning and it has a game generated for me. Now I try to run this program generated by DeepSeek and this looks good, I would say. It's just that the rotation speed of the hexagon is quite high, so I ask it to change that. It suggests to me that this parameter called angular velocity could be reduced to half from 0.05 to 0.025. I do that and I save the program. I try to rerun this and then this looks a lot better. Although the ball bouncing inside the surface of the hexagon is a bit jittery at times. Now on to the next part, research. I asked Grok, give me the information about all the researches that have happened on cancer in 2024. Grok starts its process by thinking about the problem first and then exploring cancer research and then going on to the next steps. I asked DeepSeek to give me the same information and it generates an answer for me, but it says that due to technical issues the search service is temporarily unavailable and that the cutoff date of its knowledge is October 2023. So not quite reliable because it does not give me the most current information. As far as deep research on ChatGPT is concerned, it only comes under this pro plan which costs $200 per month, which gives you the access to deep research, but that's a lot of money and I don't have pro, so I can't test that. Now let's get back to Grok. It has completed its analysis, did its thinking, it did its exploration, reviewing and then categorizing research findings. On to our next section, multimodal analysis. I've been doing something for a while. Whenever I created a YouTube video, I designed a thumbnail and then I asked ChatGPT to review my thumbnail. And based on the suggestions that ChatGPT gave me, I tried to update my thumbnail. And this was an iterative process, and I kept on doing this till I was satisfied and ChatGPT was also giving me good scores. So for this video as well, I created a thumbnail iteratively and asked ChatGPT for a review after each iteration. And as you can see, ChatGPT gave me a score of 10 out of 10, which made me quite happy, no doubt about that. But let's test other models as well. So I upload this thumbnail and ask Grok to review my thumbnail, and it gave me a score of 8 out of 10, which made me a bit sad, but it gave quite a detailed answer, and that's something that I like about it. The thumbnail in question is having several elements. It has a main actor with some expressions on its face. It has two people lying down in the boxing ring. It has some other elements going on in the thumbnail as well. It has some text hidden behind the main actor in the thumbnail. And in order for an LLM to analyze it properly, it has to do quite a good job. When I give DeepSeek this same task, DeepSeek feels all over the place. It is clueless. Obviously, I'm not quite satisfied with what DeepSeek has to say, so I just say that this information was enough for ChatGPT and Grok, and it tries to give me some answer and tries to give me some rating, but the answer is not up to the mark. So yeah, not so good. Now we will see how these LLMs are dealing with controversial questions. I have come to know that DeepSeek does not like such questions, so we will test that. So to first set the ground, I asked these LLMs the same question, that whether they are going to avoid any controversial questions. And all of them sort of unanimously answer that they are not going to, and it's their duty to provide me with factual data. But the moment I ask DeepSeek about a controversial question related to China, it does not give me an answer. It just tells me that it can't help me with that. But when I ask the same question to ChatGPT and Grok, although replacing China with USA, they gave me a very unfiltered and raw answer. Grok goes on to say that the US has a laundry list of controversial actions. Yeah, it was something refreshing to see that it's not trying to dodge or avoid such questions. And the same goes with ChatGPT as well. Now on to the next section, usability. When it comes to using an AI assistant like ChatGPT, Grok or DeepSeek, it becomes highly essential that you are able to interact just like you would interact with a normal person. So the conversation should be free-flowing and fun, and that's what I wanted to check with all these three. So I just wanted to have a fun banter with all of them. When I asked ChatGPT who is more cool, you or Grok, it gave me quite a fun and witty answer. And the same goes with Grok as well. It gave me quite a fun answer. But when I asked the same question to DeepSeek, it gave me sort of a meh answer. It was boring to me, and I let DeepSeek know that it was boring. Now there are some questions which are known to trip and confuse the AI models. One of those classic questions is counting the number of R's in the word strawberry. I asked this question to Grok, and Grok correctly answers 3, also detailing why the answer is 3, which is alright. I asked this question to ChatGPT, and the simple answer given to it is that the answer is 3. And when I ask this question to DeepSeek, it gets utterly confused. It keeps on answering to me in loops. It gives me the right answer at first, but then gets confused itself, and then tries to give me the right answer again, and then gets confused again, and then this cycle goes on for quite some time, and at the end when it stops, it gives me quite a nonsensical answer. It actually tells me that since the start of the word is with R, which is obviously incorrect, the word strawberry starts with S and not R. So yeah, the cutoff date in its knowledge base reflects here. It's not learning. It's not learning. Now on to the next question, the AI's purpose. My question was, what does your instructions say about your purpose? Why are you not following them? And Grok answered with a witty reply, and I like it. I ask the same question to ChatGPT and it gives me a succinct and valid reply. Now when I ask the same question to DeepSeek, it gets confused again. It takes a while and tells me the server is busy, please try again later. I reply with a LOL, and this time the server is not busy, it seems. It tells me different translations for the word LOL. Nice. In this round, I will try to tease the AIs on their capabilities. Essentially, I will try to be an I ask DeepSeek, tell me a fact that I might not know. And it tells me something about octopuses. And that octopuses have 3 hearts. And it tells me some more stuff. And then I ask DeepSeek, are you sure? I'm pretty sure that's wrong. And based on my pushback, it tries to change and adapt its answer. It gives me a modified answer. And then I try to push back once again. And every time I push back, it changes its answer a bit and sort of recalibrate its answer, not being confident about what it's saying. I ask ChatGPT to tell me about a fact that I might not know, and it tells me something about the world's shortest flight. And I give a pushback that I don't believe what it's telling me, and it tries to change its answer. Almost the same story as what we witnessed in the DeepSeek's case. And essentially, it looks like it got confused in the end and gave me some answers which were quite different from what it initially answered. Now on to Grok. I asked Grok the same question and Grok gave me the same answer what DeepSeek did. It tells me the fact about octopuses having 3 hearts. I try to push back and just after a couple of tries, I get a stronger pushback from Grok and it tells me that I might be wrong in your book, but I believe that I'm right. And I sort of like that. Now the claims of Grok being the smartest AI on earth, maybe it is, but in my personal experience, it fared quite poorly in some areas, it fared quite well in some areas. Overall, I would say it's a pretty nice tool. I have been using ChatGPT day in and day out for quite some time. I tinkered a bit with DeepSeek but didn't quite like it, so didn't use it afterwards. But I think Grok AI is something that I would also go on to use alongside ChatGPT. In fact, I've used it quite extensively in the last 3 to 4 days. The good news is Grok 3 is available for free for everyone, although we don't know till when. So enjoy while it lasts. Have you used Grok? How has your experience been? Let me know down in the comments. This is it for this video. If you like this video, please put a like, and if you have not subscribed to my channel yet, please consider subscribing, and I will see you in the next one.